all that remains, all that you see is embers and ashes. Today, vacant possession.
The lease was unbeatable. A large house, somewhat isolated for a price that made no sense. The agency said only one condition: do not open the door at the end of the hallway. They gave no explanations. At the time, with my bank account at its limit, and the urgency of finding a place after the divorce, I accepted. I moved in within days. I brought what little I had left and set about organizing the space. At first, the door was just pine wood at the end of a corridor. Then the house began to react. The first sign was a coin. It fell from my pocket and rolled toward the back. As it neared the door, it stopped dead, as if hitting an invisible wall, and fell flat against the floor. There was no metallic sound. The floor beneath that door absorbed the noise. Then came the cold. One morning, I left a cup of coffee on a stand in the hallway. When I went to get it, the half facing the living room was burning, but the half facing the door was ice cold. The heat vanished along a perfect vertical line. It was a thermal boundary with no transition. Out of curiosity, I stopped cleaning the area around the door. The rest of the house gathered dust normally, but the last 4 feet of the hallway remained intact. No dust, no hair, no shoe prints. It was a space that refused to hold any trace of presence. I tried measuring the hallway. The first time it read exactly 8 feet. Repeating the measurement, the tape showed nearly 10. The third, just over 6.5. It wasn't a calculation error. The space itself stretched and shrank as it neared the threshold. I stopped going to work. I couldn't think about anything else. The door wasn't a mystery. It was an anomaly that warped everything around it. One afternoon, my ex-wife called. We were discussing the schedule for the girls, the only thread still connecting me to the outside world. As we talked, I walked down the hallway. As I reached the end, her voice began to hollow out. Her words lost their weight, becoming meaningless, as if language itself were collapsing. "You sound like you're dead," she said before the line cut out. I didn't call her back. I have lived here for a year today. I turned the radio all the way up in the kitchen. The noise bounces off every wall in the house, except here. At the end of the hallway, there is a thick silence pressing against my ears. I gripped the knob. It offered no resistance. The metal pulled the heat from my hand so fast, my fingers went numb. I pushed. Behind it, there is no room, no furniture, no darkness. There is a nothingness biting into reality. There is no bottom. tried to step back, but I could no longer feel my right arm. I looked down. My shirt sleeve hung over the void. There was no stump, no pain, no blood. That part of me was simply gone. I look at my other hand. It is fading, turning into a gray smudge until it vanishes. The nothingness spills into the hallway and subtracts me inch by inch. I hear the front door. A voice. As you can see, it is vacant. I try to scream, but I have no mouth.
The fire is out. Remember, only embers and ashes remain.